Yo. Welcome back, everybody, to a weekly gaming news show, the podcast where seasoned video game players come together and talk about the gaming news for the week. We are your hosts with the most. We are Venom, and I'm joined here today with my good friend Wade Wilson.
Hey, what's up? The name is Wade Wilson. You might know me better as Deadpool.
Oh, shit.
How's it going, everybody?
It's going good. Boogie's also here. What's going on, Boogie?
I'm here, man. I'm not all fancied up like you guys. Ready to shoot your own movie crossover going on over there, but yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. We're shooting out. We're currently in Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion is where we're located. Yeah, that's a ghost up there. We gotta watch out for her. She looks cute, but she is very deadly.
Pretty spooky.
Yeah, and we're actually coming to you guys off the heels of our 13-hour horror streamathon. So if you are watching this on True Sonic, which was the original home of a weekly gaming news show, you guys are getting an extra treat. And for those of you, Sonny's in the building. And for those of you that are new to the podcast, I do have my own original or my personal Twitch channel. Now that's where I play a lot of video games. And something happened too. I don't know why this happens. It happens every other show. The screen just like freaking like bounces up
or downward a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're in there. We're in there. Yeah. But we're glad to be here. There's a lot of news for us to cover. So without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into the news. First things first, we do have some updates and corrections from our previous episode. And I wish Sonny would be quiet, but it's a lost cause.
You want me to close that door?
Nah, we're gonna burn up in here. Freaking face paint gonna melt off and we close that door.
My face is already melted.
Yeah, your face is already melted. Yeah. Venom doesn't do well in heat. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our updates and corrections from our previous episode. This segment is where we tackle or address stories or topics that either got an update from when we previously talked about it, or we missed something. So in this case, these are both updates from the previous episode. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Boogie, why don't you start us off?
The first one is out of Sony. Sony's been sending out beta invitations. I actually got one of these 6.1 beta invitations, and that adds the PlayStation Network ID change. It makes that available for you.
Right, and we talked about that and how it was like having issues.
Well, it's garbage. So if you change a name, there's some side effects. Mainly that you can lose your game saves. That's a problem.
Right.
You can lose trophy progress. That's a bit of a problem, but not so much. But the biggest problem, I think, is horrific, and I don't know what Sony's doing with their network, but you can change the name. You lose access to all your DLC and any purchased currency and items you may have on a specific game. They said the first change is going to be free, and the additional changes is $10. That's just like pretty much everywhere else.
That's standard.
And for the beta program, you can revert back to your name for free if you decide to change your name and you lose access to everything.
Okay. So it's a trial period, but it's no risk because you can always change back.
You can always change back, and from everything I've read, because like I said, I've got the update. I mean, I've got the invitation. It's in my email. I read the terms and I read, the no.
I don't know why you would want to do anything Sony related after what they did to you, man.
Well, what else I have to lose? I can't play Spider-Man. I mean, what? I'm not going to be able to play God of War next. Who cares?
Maybe you'll change your name and that'll fix everything.
It's possible. That might be
at
possible.
this point, anything's possible.
Okay, are you not interested in the Yakuza series?
What happened?
Are you not interested in the Yakuza series?
A little bit. I did download. I mean, I plan on downloading the Kiwami when it goes free next week or next month. Yeah, next week, I guess.
Yeah.
So that'll put my foot in the store. It's interesting. It seems to me along the lines of Shenmue, and I did love me some Shenmue. So
I can tell you that it's way better than Shenmue. Like Shenmue, if it were put into the modern era, like after going back and playing
Yakuza.
Shenmue 1 and 2, like they did not age well. But if they had, they would be.
Yeah. I don't think they're made by the same team, but there's definitely influences from the open world, the fighting mechanic, all that. Because essentially, the fighting system is based on like a revamped version of Virtual Fighter, which is another Sega franchise. So that's what I always liked, the fighting in Shenmue over everything, but there's so little of it that is like, you never really get to explore that too much.
Shenmue was waiting with a lot of with a bit of combat in it. Yakuza's a lot of combat.
Yeah, a lot
very little like waiting,
Yeah, I'll check it out. I plan on checking it out when it comes free. It wasn't something I wanted to buy because I've got a lot I've already bought and not touched. But if I can get it for free and try it out,
Zero's a really cheap game. Like, it's not a full price title. I think it's like a $30 game, and this Halloween you'll probably be able to find it on sale, no doubt, for like a lot off.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Have you started it?
I got to the title screen.
Wow.
I'm surprised. This was like your most anticipated game of all time.
I don't even have it or plan on getting it, and I'm excited about it. Like it's a big game.
It came out Friday, and I absolutely had no time on Friday because we had a swim meet yesterday.
Gotcha.
And I was planning to start. That's what I was planning to stream last night, and I got talked into doing a raid. So we did the raid.
Always getting caught up in your raids, Boogie and his Destiny raids. But getting back on topic, so there seems like there's low risk in changing your name, or at least less risk,
right?
Because you can always change your name back, and I'm assuming changing your name back will just reverse any negative effects.
Right, it should. That's according to what's in the facts, the FAQ that they sent out. But I just find it.
It's a bit jarring, especially comparing it to other consoles and how they do names.
Right.
We talked about this last week as well. Xbox allowed you to change with absolutely no side effects, and this has been something they've done since the original Xbox, since Xbox Live's inception.
Oh, I don't know if this was mentioned on the podcast when you guys were talking about this, but like it's pretty obvious just from the way they've been handling the name changes. Like there's something going on with their databasing where they're using your name as like a primary key.
Yeah.
And so that would explain why changing it could have these weird side effects. Like some database somewhere didn't release dependency on it. And so like when you change your name, it's like, oh crap, where'd all this stuff go?
Right. Yeah, because everything on Xbox and even on Nintendo Switch is linked to your email address.
Right.
So changing your display name doesn't take away any of your like content on your account.
And that's the way it should be done.
Right. That's the way I assumed it was always done.
But apparently, I think part of the problem is, if you remember, Sony initially, the Sony PlayStation Network or whatever, they were run on GameSpy servers. And then from GameSpy servers, I forgot, they moved to somebody else. I still don't think they have any kind of in-house hosting system. I'm pretty sure their service is hosted by a third party. So I think that might have something to do with it. Whereas Nintendo and even Microsoft, they built their back end on their own.
Yeah.
So they have more control and they have more say in how the accounts were set up.
Right, and I gave props to the Nintendo Switch for doing this as well, because they allow you to change your display name to whatever you want at no cost. The only thing is you can't actually change your account name. For instance, mine is True Sonic, and it'll be True Sonic forever. But I can change it in game to anything that I want at any time, right? With no cost. Hopefully, Nintendo doesn't get any ideas to start charging for it, because they could definitely get away with it.
I jinxed it. Just because you said that. Harada's watching. I
don't know who the new president is.
Who is the president? I don't know. Reggie Fils-Aime is watching.
Reggie, yeah.
Vis-a-vis is watching, and Reggie's just got that idea in his head now.
His body is ready for more money.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, this is definitely a weird circumstance that's happening on Sony's end. And for those for people that aren't actually like PS fanboys, like I didn't know that it wasn't even a feature. That's the craziest part about it.
I knew that a long time ago because that's why I'm jumped that boogie the weird way. Because when I first set up my PlayStation Network ID, somebody had up jumped the boogie, my standard one. Last time I checked, and this was probably a year or so ago, it was free. It was available, but you can't change your name. I would have had to have started a new account.
Which the other day I was trying to make a PS4 account and Deadpool was taken. Can you? There's a nerve.
All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to our next topic. This is also another update. So Boogie, go ahead and take us there. What we got?
Yeah, we've talked about this last week. It's a story that it broke actually Sunday morning. We usually would have skipped it, but I thought it was pretty big. But the kid Nikhil Forsaken Kumawat, the CS:GO pro that got caught cheated live at a tournament
with the hands in the.
Let's not give this dude the benefit of the doubt of even calling him by his like alias or his nickname. This dude is Nikhil Kumawat.
Yeah, he got a
Kumawat.
He got a 5-year ban. So they investigated, and it seems to me from what I've read, this is not over for him.
Pretty cut and dry.
Well, the thing is, the 5-year ban he got is because they checked his logs from a previous tournament and found that he was using the same exploit. So they banned him for that. So he So
has he received any punishment for this most recent?
Not yet.
Okay.
So he may be getting more than just his 5 years. But as it stands now, he's been banned for 5 years. He was up for a lifetime ban, so he kind of dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
But he got what he got. He got what he deserved.
Even if this was never got him, like this, nobody's gonna want to do anything with after this.
Yeah. No team will have anything to do with him.
Why would anybody want a pro who cheats? Like nobody would want that. You're clearly not a talented individual.
Right. And apparently they in the investigation, and apparently it was known that he's been an account booster, and he had been boosting accounts and selling them using cheats. So it was something that was known in the community. So I don't know how he got on the team in the first place if that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, and we talked about how the team has been disbanded.
Right.
I'd be hard pressed to see any of the other players get onto a team like right away. You know, they might have to prove themselves. You know, because being associated with a cheater. Sometimes you're just guilty by association.
Right, and that's why they disbanded the team immediately. That's why they immediately disbanded the team to break off that guilt. And if you notice in a lot of the articles, they didn't list any of the teammates' names, which I thought that was a good deal for them, just so they can try to distance themselves from this mess. So I think they should be fine going forward. I think at the end of the day, they can put the team back together as it is, and they just need to find one replacement for it, one person for his spot, and just call themselves something else. Because again, it was an entire team, including the coach, that's all been disbanded.
Hopefully the other teammates get new positions on the other squads. I would hate for everybody to go down because of the actions of one person. So since you're our guest, Mountlover, I'll let you introduce the weekly icebreaker.
Alrighty, our icebreaker for this week is the question: what horror game IP would you like to see rebooted or remastered?
And you know what? I haven't played that many horror games because I'm a scaredy cat for the most part.
Can we just tack on like rebooted, remastered, or just continued? Like a lot of horror franchises just have gone into obscurity and not been touched. So
yeah,
go on.
But yeah, I haven't played a whole bunch, but one horror series that I did enjoy up until like its last game was Dead Space, man. Visceral Games, I feel like with the first and second Dead Space, they were really onto something. They created a character in a world that was chilling to the bone.
They made a character who got really iconic really fast.
Yeah. Isaac something?
Isaac Clarke, yeah. Wait, to just completely negate my point. Yeah, Isaac, whatever his name was.
Isaac, what? I mean, it's been a while since I played that game.
You see his face, though, and even you don't see his face, but you see his mask, and you immediately know
yeah.
It's like Boba Fett, you know?
And that's why I was so upset when Visceral Games got shut down, because Dead Space 3 was definitely a huge decline in terms of like quality and even like fun factor. But I definitely wanted them to get at least one more crack at it, you know? Dead Space was fun. I would really like to see that IP not so much rebooted or remastered, but I would like to see that one continue. I have multiple. I have double. What'd you say?
Yeah, by the way.
Oh yeah. I have both. Well, I have all three games, the entire series on PC and some of them on Xbox One. Thanks to the Games for Gold, they released some of them for free. But I would love to see that one, continued.
Continued?
Yeah, continued.
Yeah, it's a shame they never made a 3. You know,
They did make a 3.
No,
It's
it's
just
a
bad.
shame they never made a 3.
They never made a good 3. Maybe they should
Ooh.
redo 3 and then call it a wrap.
I don't remember a Dead Space 3. I remember a crappy game 3. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, it was crappy. I will give you that. What about you, Boogie? Any horror IPs?
It's a game we talked about before. Fear.
Oh yeah, Fear's pretty dope.
Yeah, Fear was I enjoyed that. I like first person shooters and for them to put the scares that they did in Fear, the way they did, I thought it was pretty good. I don't even know if the develop Monolith what they're doing now. But I would love to see that come back. The last one was Fear 3. That was like 8 years ago.
That was a while ago.
Fear 3 was co-op, right?
Yeah,
they did the same thing that Dead Space did, where they made a co-op game. I think it worked better for Fear than it did Dead Space.
Yeah, because you played as like both of the brothers, and one was like the more like military shooter aspect.
Yeah,
and
it
one
was
had,
very
like, powers and stuff.
Asynchronous. Instead of playing the same character twice, like you actually complemented each other, and like I think you would like go off and do separate things and like help each other out and like indirectly, sort of like a Portal 2 vibe. I don't remember liking Fear very much, but I know that it was like hit or miss, and like some people loved it.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I love the first two.
Okay.
The third one, I don't think I've been played. I played a little bit of it. I think I may have just played a demo. I know I touched it, but not very much. But the first two I really enjoyed, especially the creepy girl. That's pretty awesome. It's probably one of the last horror games that I actually was able to sit through.
That's did you pick up Fear when it first came out, or did you play it like retroactively? Oh,
no, I had that was around my PC days, so I had them both on PC.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
it's interesting that you've only played 1 and 2, because I've only played 3. What about you?
I've played 1 and 3.
Okay.
Like strangely enough, I played the first one and the third one.
Okay, so you're the only one who has like some insight as to whether 3 lives up to the first one.
I would say so. It's definitely different, but I feel like I didn't feel like the co-op aspect took away from the the actual gameplay,
like it did with Dead Space 3.
Like it did with Dead Space. And what about you? Any horror IPs or games you want to see?
Plenty, so many. Like the one that comes to mind first is one that actually is going to be that has been relevant for a past horror game streamathon and will be relevant again for this horror game streamathon, and that is Clock Tower.
Hey, Clock Tower is classic.
Clock Tower, especially the Super Nintendo version of Clock Tower, that is the scariest game you will find on your Super Nintendo. End of statement. Like there is no game that will frighten you more than Super Nintendo Clock Tower. It is amazing what they did with that hardware. And it's like it's a short game just if you play it from start to finish. Yeah. But they have so many different endings, so many ways to play the game, and like if you're going into it blind like we did initially, you will not beat it on your first try, and you'll spend like hours just exploring all the different areas and seeing all the things there are to do. It was a murder mystery. It was a slasher flick. It was like a psychological horror. It just nailed like all the right notes. And then they released 2 PlayStation 1. Okay, so they released 2 PlayStation 1 Clock Tower games. Yeah. One of which was called Clock Tower 2, which was awful. Yeah. And just everybody ignores that one. The other one was just called Clock Tower, confusingly enough. Yeah. And that was good. That was the real Clock Tower 2.
The first Fear.
Yeah. And yeah, but that game was fun. We actually played that on one of our first horror streamathons. That brings back some good memories going through those games.
Yeah, and then they made Clock Tower 3, which like it's hit and miss. It's like a B movie type of like campy game, and that one it's okay. It's not terrible. It's not like brilliant. And then they made Haunting Ground, which we haven't played yet.
Oh yeah, so that's the next game, okay.
Which is like a spiritual successor to Clock Tower. But I would love to see like either a remake of the original Super Nintendo or like just a continuation of the series. Like I want more of that feel that the original Clock Tower captured.
That'd be dope. So let us know what you guys think if you're watching this on YouTube. Let us know what horror IPs you would like to see remade, remastered, or brought back from the grave. We would love to see your guys' comments down below, so make sure you hit us up.